Good morning and welcome to today's Public and Protective Services Committee meeting. The date is May the 13th, 2025. I'm your chair, Councillor Chris Thiessen. I'm joined today by Councillor Blackmore on the committee, and Councillor Clayton will be arriving a bit later. To say that, we'll call this meeting to order and we'll start with the land acknowledgement. And the city respectfully acknowledges the Beaver, Cree, Dene, and Métis people as the original caretakers of this land and surrounding area. We are grateful to live, learn, work, and play on Treaty 8 territory and acknowledge these lands have been home to diverse and sovereign First Nations since time immemorial. Thank you very much, everyone, for that. And I'll look for a motion to adopt the agenda, and I'll turn it over to Councillor Blackmore.
I would make that motion.
Thank you, Councillor Blackmore. Call to question. That motion carries. Moving right along, we'll move into our delegations portion of today's agenda. We do have one delegation that has signed up to speak today. That would be Mr. Kenneth Wilfer. Yeah, sorry, I thought it was two L's. I didn't want to make sure I got that right. Mr. Kenneth Wilfer here to speak to committee today. I'd like to ask you if you'd like to come up and speak to committee. Just set yourself up there, Mr. Wilfer. And please tell us why you're here today.
Okay, let's see here. Check. Okay. Okay, I'll give you a little bit of myself. Okay. I'm born in Vancouver. I worked at Vancouver General Hospital for 22 years. I was on the OH&S department on the director's board, and I was a shop steward 22 years. I also have done constructions, plumbing, electricity, building houses as not a trades, but a worker, right? So you have a little a little bit of what knowledge I know about housing and safety and health. So what I'm going to do is, because I only got 5 minutes, I've gone across to the RCMP. I have talked to the Grande Prairie Police. I have talked to the Health Administration Board a few times about these issues, criminal issues, health issues, and all that stuff. I've actually had the RCMP where I was see this criminal activity while they were doing another thing, and they've done nothing about it. So let's get down to it. This is concerned about Wapiti House. Okay, I'm not a drug user, and I've been there for 3 months in the winter because of slumlords. That's another issue, okay? But I was on mats, and then they put me into cots. Now, cots is 23 people in cots. What I've noticed when I was in there, number one, is the washrooms are not cleaned by the cleaners. The washrooms are cleaned by the homeless people, and they don't know how to clean them. The chemicals they bring in from the outside, I don't know what they are. The urinals do not have water running through the urinals. They're just urinals, and the guys have to pour water in it because the traps hold urine, and then they turn into ammonia, so the guys have to dump the water. The traps on the floor do not have water in the traps. You can smell methane coming through the traps in the washrooms. The showers aren't washed. They said they did a clean. They're not cleaned. I have photos of all this stuff, and that's just a washroom. And the washroom is closed at midnight all the way till 7 in the morning. So when it's minus 30, they have two washrooms outside. One's always closed, and the other ones usually have 5 people laying there, and somebody's always in the washroom. So people have to, which I've had to many times, defecate outside minus 30 degrees. This is not good, okay? That's just the washroom. Now, the cots, what happens with the cots, they have a vent system. And I told them about the HVAC. I says, you have no air going out of the building. And finally, sometime after I complained a bit, they started getting the HVAC working. But what happens in the washroom is where the air comes in. And inside the cot area, there's no ventilation. So what they do, they lock the washroom at midnight, so there's no vents, okay? And what happens is they close all the doors, and they're allowed to do their drugs there. So they're doing methamphetamines, fentanyl, shooting up heroin. I've gotten sick from there. I'm on antibiotics now because I'm not there anymore, and the doctor says your lungs are scarred from the drugs that you've been breathing in. There's no ventilation, and my boss even noticed when I came back to work, there's something wrong with you. I says, yeah, I'm detoxing. the doctor says, you're detoxed. I says, I don't, he says, you're breathing it in. So you can see on the roof, there's cracks in the roof. And I got pictures of that. If the counselors want to see the pictures, cracks in the roof. Supposedly, you can see the black mold on the roof so that you're breathing in black mold. The bedding that's on the sheets, a guy came in and they give him bedding and you can see the urine stain on the sheet. It's like, this is not sanitary. Right? They don't clean the room. Who cleans the room is, even though it's a little messy because of the people that are in there, are the people that are in there. There are 2 maintenance people and cleaners there, and they do not clean the washrooms. They do not clean anything there. Let me look on my notes because I know I only got 5 minutes, guys. What happens when people get kicked out of there? I know a friend that's a diabetic, but in the cots you have a locker, and if they do anything bad, this is what they do. You got to remember that locker is where all their personal property is. You know, your birth certificate, your memorabilia, you know, all the little stuff that's all they have, and if they lose that, they've lost their life and all that stuff. Well, what the administration does is, say you get caught, and they say you're not supposed to do drugs in there, but I've seen the RCMP in there busting somebody. Well, dealers are dealing drugs like 3 beds over, and guys are smoking methamphetamines basically beside me, and they don't do nothing. And it's like, I don't want to get off track here. Nothing's done. It's just an ongoing basis, and every time it's the same thing. And the administration, I asked the administration, it says no smoking. And they say, well, they got to do their drugs somewhere. So they do it in the bathroom. Like in the bathroom, you know, they had 10 people laying on the floor, suntanning, I call it, but they're basically all high. And so they locked the washrooms and all that stuff for 3 months and all that. It's still the same way. But the problem is that the management, they say, you tell us, I tell them, and even at 4 o'clock in the morning, they come and do their check, right? And I go, like, they're smoking heroin, or they're smoking methamphetamines, they're dealing, and they walk by and do nothing about it. I don't want to miss anything here. So I've told them many times about this. They've done nothing about it. Like I say, the doors are all closed. The guys are pretty good in there. Sometimes you get bad guys in there, but usually, you know, I mean, they didn't like me at first, but then they say, you know, they liked me after the fact, but I'm getting off topic here again.
It's okay, Mr. Wilfer. We are at the 5 minutes. Perhaps we can fill in some of the blanks with a few questions asked from committee or members of council. But thank you so much for coming in today and expressing your concerns about the shelter space. I have Councillor Blackmore in the queue for a question.
Thanks, Mr. Wilfer, for coming in today. You said they lock the washrooms and they had locked them for a period of 3 months or so?
No, every night at midnight, they lock the washroom till 7 a.m. in the morning.
So then when you get up in the night to go to the bathroom, where do you go?
Well, you have an option to go out to the front desk, and there's 2 washrooms out there. One's always closed off, and the other one is, these 2 washrooms are for people that sleep outside, that refuse to go into shelter, and there's always somebody in it. So what we do is we go outside.
And then my other question is, residents are allowed to do drugs in the cot area, I think you said. Is that what you said?
That's
Are they?
They're not allowed to do drugs in the cot area, but they are allowed to do it in the washroom. But they do it in the cot area, and as they do their checks, they're supposed to go in every 15 minutes and do a check. They don't. They do it maybe once a night or twice a night to make sure nothing's going wrong. So no, they do it in the cots, but they don't police it.
Does that answer your question, Councillor Blackmore? Or?
Yeah, like to my understanding, they don't have a designated legal place for people to go to do drugs. They don't have a.
Oh, they actually have is outside. It's a van for heroin, a needle place. But that place is not for methamphetamines or anything you smoke.
Just a safe injection
Just a
site.
safe injection site, yeah.
Okay. I have other questions, but they'll be for administration.
Okay, no, thank you for that, Councillor Blackmore. I do have Councillor O'Connor. He's not here, but he is online. Councillor O'Connor, I see your hand up. Councillor O'Connor?
No, I don't have my hand up. Thank you.
Oh, okay. If you could lower your hand on your screen there, then then I would not call you to task. I have a question for you, Mr. Wilfer. In regards to, you said that you have talked with the management at the shelter at Wapiti House. Have you expressed any concerns to the members of the board or also the province?
You mean the board at Wapiti House?
Mm-hmm.
I've actually talked to Patsy Arger. She's the basically like the city mayor of Wapiti House, and she says, shrugs it off. She doesn't care. She just shrugs it off. I says, "This is what do you want me to do?" kind of attitude, right? And walks away.
Okay.
I brought it to administration. The provincial part you said, well, that's going to happen. I'm not going that. I haven't gone that far. I'm in process of writing a letter to Danielle Smith, but I'm giving you guys the opportunity because the letter's not finished because I haven't found out what you guys are going to do. But there is a letter in process for Danielle Smith if this is a dead end trail.
Okay. Yeah. Typically, shelter services are managed and operated through the provincial services. City of Grande Prairie, we make space for the land and some of that stuff. Some of the, I guess, the Grande Prairie Police Service operations, bylaw or RCMP, are within our purview. I'm trying to figure out though. You said as your outcome that you want healthy living environment available, and now expressing everything that's gone on poorly, that's been happening poorly in your eyes in the Wapiti House shelter. How would you best see that happening? What outcomes would you like to create that healthy living environment?
Okay, that's where we come to my closing. I think there has to be outside third-party thorough investigation. I'm talking about plumbers. How can I go? Plumbers, electricians, third-party administration staff, people doing an investigation. I just want to mention one more thing, okay? You know what a GI plug is?
No.
Okay, electrical plug.
Okay.
Electrical plug, and it's a GI. So if water hits it, it breaks. They're GI plugs. Okay, here's the plug. Here's the top of the sink, and it's an open plug. There's no cover. There's the top of the sink, and there's the sink. I got pictures. And if the water goes in the sink and hits the plug, GI is going to snap, but it's an open plug and the two wires are there. And whoever's on that sink, if the water goes, because it's right below the sink, is going to get electrocuted. It's like, yeah. So I didn't get that in, so I just wanted to throw that in. But
That's okay.
it's like like electrician didn't do this and a plumber didn't do this, and it's like this is going to kill somebody. If a shower is there right there, and he spills water and there's water on the floor, and that GI plug snaps and that water goes down on the floor, down the side, whoever's in that washroom is electrocuted. I don't care who you are, you're going to die, right? It's an unsafe environment, but.
Okay, no, I think I understand the outcomes you'd like to see out of this is better policing of the overnight mats programs and rooms, no open drug use, and
Washroom faculties,
and building inspection, I think, is what I've.
Full building inspection. I've heard downstairs they had a flood with sewer flood, and it was 4 feet of sewer. It took 32 tanker trucks to get it out, and I think that's where they're getting their black mold problem from.
Okay, No, thank you for that. I'm going to look for other questions around the table. And I don't see any around the table or online, so I'd like to thank you for coming in and expressing your concerns. Councillor Blackmore stated she's got some questions for administration. Maybe perhaps some other members of committee or council will too. And I encourage you to try to keep reaching out to the people that you hope will help solve this. And City Council will discuss what we can.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Okay.
All right, Councillor Blackmore, you said you had questions for administration?
I do. Thank you, Councillor Thiessen. I'm going to start by saying that it's long been an issue where nonprofit organizations who own their own buildings frequently don't put enough money into the care and maintenance of their building because their budgets are limited, and often the money is directed towards programming. This causes major issues in buildings because they're not duly cared for. And so I'm wondering if administration can confirm for me that Wapiti House owns their own building and is not managed in any way by city facility staff.
Thank you for that question, Councillor Blackmore. Chief Lemieux.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. So we do not do any maintenance in that facility. It's not a city-owned facility. So who owns the facility exactly, I'm not sure, but I could find out. But it is not a city-owned facility, and we do not perform any maintenance in that facility as a municipality.
If I remember correctly from when I was previously on council when Wapiti House was built, the board, the nonprofit organization that's run by the board, is who owns the building and the land was given to Wapiti House by the city. I am wondering if we have any opportunity to ask these types of questions directly to Wapiti House. How are they maintaining their building? Have they had due inspections, etc.?
Chief Lemieux?
We certainly have a good working relationship with the administration of Wapiti House, and we can ask all of those questions, absolutely.
And then my final question is, I find it offensive that bathrooms are locked. We have known for a long time that access to bathrooms is one of the most dehumanizing things that we do to our street-engaged population. And it offends me greatly that a washroom in a facility that's built to accommodate street-engaged people would in fact lock their washrooms. And I would really like you, if you could, to take that to their administration and learn more about why that's happening and what to do to prevent it from happening. I would appreciate that.
Chief Lemieux?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So I'm not familiar with policies and procedures, but we certainly will go back and ask that question. We'll bring back information to this committee as a follow-up.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for those questions, Councillor Blackmore. Just a question for Chief Lemieux in regards to managing and inspecting, I guess, provincial buildings. Would the city at all be, I know we don't do it right now, but do we engage in, maybe if the province said, well, we can't send somebody right now, can we send the city's facilities in there? I guess the reason I'm asking, and maybe a better question is, who is in charge of the maintenance and inspection of those facilities besides the shelter?
That's a really good question. I don't have the answer off the tip of my tongue, but certainly I'll follow up and find out. We do not provide that service as a municipality, but there may be ways that we can get some inspections done, but I'll have to follow up.
Okay, no, thank you for that, Chief Lemieux. Any other questions from committee or council? Seeing none. Thank you for coming in today, Mr. Wilfer. Thank you for the questions, Councillor Blackmore, and the answers, Chief Lemieux. Hopefully we can get to a positive solution for the end of this. Moving right along into our next item, reports. We got item 5.1, service area update, and for that I'll turn it back over to Chief Lemieux.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll start with enforcement services. So Enforcement officers took part in additional training to address excessive vehicle noise, particularly from modified exhaust systems. So this initiative is in response to noise complaints stemming from vehicles with inadequate mufflers and disruptive driving behaviors. Training enables officers to conduct targeted vehicle checks and enforce noise regulation effectively, aiming to reduce disturbances and enhance community well-being. Enforcement services the officers were engaged to assist with scene control for the fires that recently happened in the Grande Prairie area. And in terms of community engagement, peace officers participated in the safety city programs first week during this reporting period, and they collaborated with educating children on road and bicycle safety. From a mobile outreach in collaboration with Enforcement Services and our Community Standards Unit and the RCMP and the Parks Department, they continue to prioritize encampment response across the city. And with elevated fire risk, timely intervention is increasingly critical. So coordinated efforts focus on reducing hazards, ensuring prompt site cleanup, and connecting individuals to essential supports, including case management and housing referrals. From the RCMP on Wednesday, April the 16th, the RCMP Drug Section, with the assistance of the Grande Prairie Rural Police Dog Service, they executed a multiple search warrants at residents in the area of Pinnacle and Lakeland, and as a result, the following items were seized by police. So 2,849 grams of cocaine and a number of other drugs and a large amount of cash. So one male was arrested during the search and was released pending further investigation. The estimated street value of the seized cocaine is $285,000. So that investigation remains ongoing, and an update will be provided later on. With regards to RCMP again, on April the 13th, they received a report of an in-progress theft of a vehicle. The owner had stopped at a gas station on the west side of Grande Prairie, came out to find someone attempting to steal his vehicle. The owner tried to intervene and was subsequently dragged a short distance. Luckily, the owner was uninjured, but the suspect got away. About an hour later, the truck was located in the county of Grande Prairie in a wooded area, and with the assistance of rural RCMP and dog services, the male suspect was subsequently arrested. From the Recreation Department, the Storm hockey team coordinated a send-off event at Bonnet's, which was attended by Storm alumni, proud billet parents, and Bonnet staff. Councillor Mike O'Connor gave a cheerful speech, which was very much appreciated, and the bus was loaded up, and police cars escorted the team out of town, heading to Calgary to the Centennial Cup. So we wish the Storm best of luck at the Centennial Cup. From events and programming, the Grande Prairie Composite High School's graduation ceremony will be hosted at Bonnet's on May the 16th. And the events team is also supporting both the Storm Sent-Off and the Youth Career Expo. From Housing and Community Development, the Youth Career Discovery Expo was a great success last week, and this was the second year in a row of the Youth Expo. Thanks to the generous support of our sponsors and many volunteers who made this event possible, we welcomed approximately 2,000 youths and hosted 145 exhibitors from across the region. This event continues to grow as a key opportunity for young people to explore career paths, connect with employers, and learn about resources and opportunities available in the region. From the Grande Prairie Fire Department, the city has implemented a fire ban until conditions improve. The department has responded to several wildfires within the city over the last couple of weeks, and fortunately all were actioned quickly with no reported property damage. And the fire department also supported the county and GPREP in a recent Deer Ridge Estates fire situation. Multiple apparatus and firefighters, along with 3 incident command positions, supported that situation. FireSmart, on May the 6th, the city launched a free FireSmart home assessment program. It's funded by the Forest Resource Improvement Association of Alberta, and we plan on evaluating at least 200 homes between May and October 2025. The department, Grande Prairie Fire Department, hosted another successful campfire. The event is focused on fostering independence, resilience, and empowering in young women aged 16 to 20 to explore a career in the fire service. The camp is fully funded and supported by local businesses by the Northwest Alberta Foundation and the Firefighters Charity. We also couldn't do it without the support of partner agencies such as the County of Grande Prairie, the MD of Greenview, and Alberta EMS. Good news story from the Grande Prairie Fire Department. The Grande Prairie Fire Department applied for funding from Firehouse Subs Foundation. As you know, that there is a fire sub store in Grande Prairie. The Fire Subs Foundation of Canada has awarded the department approximately $52,000, and these funds are to go towards the purchase of flame and heat resistance firefighter gear, which are critical to firefighter safety. And so we're really thankful for Firehouse Sub for that particular grant. And that's my report for today, Mr. Chair. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Well, thank you very much for that, Chief Lemieux. I'll turn it over to my committee members and Councillor Blackmore.
Thank you, Councillor Thiessen. So let's talk about noise from vehicles again. I think most of council got an email from Mrs. Atkinson discussing noise and vehicle nuisance at the Composite High School parking lot in the night, and has talked about the fact that the RCMP said that without a no trespassing sign, they're not able to do anything about this. This is the first time I've heard about using a no trespassing sign as a means to mitigate improper vehicle behavior. Can you tell me more about that? Like, I've never heard that before.
Chief Lemieux?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you for the question. So we had a very similar problem, I'm going to say, in the last couple of years near the St. Joe's, that parking lot. What we did there, and we're going to use the same strategy at the comp, is it's not no trespassing, it's no loitering. It's a no loitering sign, which allows our enforcement services staff to issue tickets. So that's been very effective in the parking lot near St. Joe's, because we had complaints there a couple of years ago with regards to noisy vehicles, complaints from the residents. So there is a report going to the corporate leadership team in 2 days on Thursday with a recommendation that we adopt a similar process for the comps at high school. So I think no loitering is more effective and easier for enforcement services to monitor and enforce.
Mr. Blackmore.
And then, so in 2 days, that goes to corporate
It'll go to the corporate leadership team.
Leadership team,
Yes.
and then how long will it take before those signs go up?
Once we get, and I'm sure it'll be supported by the leadership team, it'll be very quickly. Those signs can go up very quickly. So we're going to be on top of this very quickly.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Blackmore. I'm Chief Lemieux. Mayor Clayton.
Thanks. I just wanted to let Councillor Blackmore know that Chief Lemieux and I have a meeting with the resident, and we're working on it proactively.
Well, thanks for that addition, Mayor Clayton. I do have a question, too, for Chief Lemieux, also in regards to noise bylaw. Maybe I missed it in the update. But when we did the campaign, the education campaign, were there any tickets handed out for noisy vehicles?
So last summer, we issued, off the top of my head, I think it was 160 tickets.
But any this year so far, or?
Those stats are coming. I know Councillor Blackmore asked me at the last meeting, and those stats are coming today or tomorrow, so I will circulate those very shortly.
Awesome. Yeah, super appreciated. Thank you, Chief Lemieux. Any other questions for the service area update? Seeing none, thank you very much for the update, Chief Lemieux. We'll move right along. We have no correspondence, other business, or bylaws to discuss, so we'll just jump right into our outstanding items list, and I'll turn it back over to Chief Lemieux.
Thank you very much. No changes to the outstanding items list.
Thank you for that, Chief Lemieux. Mayor Clayton.
Just wanted to bring attention to committee in regards to item 1251 and 1252. Those items are currently on an outstanding items list at the ICC committee, the Intermunicipal Collaboration Committee. And so I'd like to make a motion to update the outstanding items list to remove those items as they are being addressed at an intermunicipal meeting, or committee rather.
Okay, note that motion is in order. Any discussion or debate on the mayor's motion? Seeing none, then I guess we'll move the outstanding items list as amended. All right. We'll call to question. That motion carries 3-0. Thank you for the update, Mayor Clayton. Thank you, Chief Lemieux. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be right back with our next committee meeting.